Rework rate in software development refers to the amount of effort spent fixing, modifying, or rebuilding work that was already considered done. This usually happens when defects are found, requirements change, or misunderstandings surface after development or testing. Rework rate matters because it directly affects delivery speed, cost, and team morale, making it an important quality and efficiency indicator. At its core, rework rate measures how much of the team's time is spent correcting previous work instead of creating new value. This can include rewriting code, updating designs, redoing test cases, or revisiting documentation. A high rework rate actually signals inefficiencies in earlier stages of the development process. One common cause of rework is unclear or incomplete requirements. When user needs are not well understood or documented, teams might end up building features that just don't fully meet expectations. This, in turn, leads to changes later on, which are often way more expensive and time-consuming than just getting the requirements right from the start. Another major contributor to rework is poor communication between stakeholders, developers, and testers. Misalignment on scope priorities or acceptance criteria can cause teams to implement solutions based on assumptions, and when feedback finally arrives, significant changes may be required. Technical issues also play a role in increasing rework rate. Weak architecture, lack of coding standards, or insufficient code reviews can result in fragile solutions. These issues often surface during testing or even production, forcing teams to revisit and rework existing code. Inadequate testing practices can significantly inflate rework rate. When testing is rushed, manual, or left until late in the development cycle, defects escape into later stages. Fixing issues late typically requires more effort and may impact multiple components. Rework rate is closely linked to agile and lean principles, where the goal is to reduce waste. Rework is considered a form of waste because it does not add new customer value. Teams that focus on early feedback, small batch sizes, and continuous integration generally experience lower rework rates. Measuring rework rate can actually be done in a few different ways, like tracking the time spent on defect fixes, counting how many user stories get reopened, or even analyzing what percentage of your sprint capacity is used for rework. The key thing here is consistency, so you can spot trends and address them over time, instead of just reacting to one-off incidents. A moderate level of rework is actually normal and sometimes even healthy, especially when you're working on something innovative or a bit exploratory. It really shows that teams are learning and adapting as they go, but if you notice consistently high rework rates, that's usually a sign of deeper systemic problems that need attention at the process or even the organizational level. Reducing rework rate, it often starts with improving requirement clarity and making sure there's good collaboration with stakeholders. Techniques like user story refinement, having clear acceptance criteria, and setting up regular feedback loops really help teams catch misunderstandings early. Plus, strong definition of done practices can seriously reduce the chances of incomplete work sneaking through. Engineering practices, such as automated testing, peer reviews, and continuous integration, are super helpful in minimizing rework. These practices help detect issues early, when fixes are way cheaper and less disruptive. Over time, this leads to more stable delivery and way more predictable outcomes. In conclusion, rework rate is a pretty critical metric that reflects the overall health of a software development process. While some rework is just inevitable, consistently high rework rates really do slow down delivery and increase costs. By focusing on early clarity, strong collaboration, and quality-driven engineering practices, teams can reduce rework and deliver more value with less waste.